Guys, about this news, I'm going to be very short because as well I have already opened the news. Unfortunately, the guy who is arrested was arrested. Look at the pure injustice. Yes, he had a party. Yes, he had that network. But this is an old party that was existing in Germany. There are like 20,000 people, citizens who are the member of this party. Like you have in America, like you are right or left, like you're Democrat, Republican as well. This is just alliance like a political party. That's the whole thing. The action was not taken something now. This was an action in the past, and there was a clarity about idea in the past. And this is a pure injustice because they just wanted to take him, and he will be total. He will be eliminating this guy. Unfortunately, that 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 prince Heinrich the 13th will be in prison on the purpose to be executed. Unfortunately, that's the whole truth. And this is orchestrated, organized from the globalists, from the same people who are making a Germany a colony last how many more than 60 years, 70 years, how many years? Oh my god, almost 80 years, right? It's passing the time from 1940s after the war. And Germany, in Germany we have 20 military base of you know who, originally coming from our, unfortunately, from our US, and literally it's orchestrated. Why it is orchestrated? Because they want still to control the local politicians, and politicians are still the dolls, the marionettes, the puppets of the everything that is orchestrated from the White House. There is no conspiracy theory, and they call this guy officially like he's a conspiracy theorist. When you say conspiracy theorist, we go back literally to everything that literally all my members, American members of my channel, they literally call it like do not insult the conspiracy theorists, because the conspiracy theorists are literally just tagged from officials that they want to shut down the truth. And again, again, I must say, I'm not for any kind of Nazi person. First of all, I'm always hashtagging stop the war and stop the Nazis, even now in East Europe. And I'm totally, in my humanitarian work, I'm totally against any racistic behavior, like, I don't know, more than 100 years, 200 years, probably in all my family tree. Nobody's a racist, so I'm against the Nazis. But this is just framed. I just hear it's framed in a pure injustice, because whatever was his political behave and idea of building the new Germany, independent Germany, this guy didn't have nothing to do now, right now. There was no military action as you see on the cards. Look at just the cards, like free of cups and free of pentacle in the past, by four of pentacle in the past. That's the clarity from the past. But as well, the new, look at the big boss, Uncle Sam, literally, yes, from the White House ordered put him in the prison because he's interfering, and we want him as well in the prison to be executed. Everybody who was in a prison in West Europe literally was from any kind of the extremely far right or far left side. They were executed. I will just remind you as a historian, just in 1970s, when they were from the end of the 60s, remember 1968, all over the world, they were the start of the protest, of the start of this hippie movement and the start of the student protest. Like, I know the stories, like, and my father was proud to be a part of this protest as well. He, at that period, he was a student. And as well, everything that started then in 1970s, literally 1977, was a free people finally executed the main characters inside of the far right, far left side. Was it called the Red Brigade? in Germany. And literally, I must say again, that case, literally now, why today it's HBO, why American HBO today has put that specifically that same movie, that is a movie about, it's so weird, like they knew it in advance. That's really spooky because they had put the movie uh, about the far left party. So if you don't know, like you are not a historian, you are not into the geopolitics, you don't know the things as well, it's not even in your country, like you could mix and you could literally switch and say, wow, it's good that this happened right now today in Germany, because they saved Germany from this type of guys that they were doing this in the movie, but the movie is from 1970s. It's literally from the opposite party. Because if this was supposed to be far right side today, the cup was supposed to be, again, I said it's framed because idea of having the vision to build the royal German and to have a new German that will be not under the NATO, and that the new German will not be as well, will be just an old royal German and not as well under the NATO or neither under US protection. It will be just totally independent. It's just idea that has nothing to do with the Nazi or has nothing to do as well with, it's totally just anti-global. It's so simple. I just heard that thing. Wow, my telephone is closing. Why my telephone is closing? Look at it's very fun. My telephone is just updating, but very strange. And I didn't ask my telephone to update. So let's just check again. Okay, let's go deeper. So just think about this. Today, right now, just finished. That's why I was late. It was on HBO, the movie about the far left German illegal party and their execution 1977, the three of the main characters in this red army of German they were eliminating. Why the HBO American put this movie right now? Because I'm just going to make you a parallel, because they are literally doing that war media because they're trying to represent like, wow, look at the poor Germans, what did they have 1970s with the leftists, and now they're having with the far rightists as well, the poor German. But eventually the German doesn't have the personal opinion. Any politician, any premier, chancellor, they call it in Germany, not the premier, they call it chancellor. Any chancellor of Germany was literally always having a green light from the White House. As well, there is a 20 military base of America. The Second World War finished 1945, and it's hello. This is now recording and happening in 2022, the end of 2022, like it's almost 2023. So how many years has passed? Like, hello, 8 years has passed. Why Americans are having still the military bases, 20 bases in Germany? That's why the German people, even 2018, just so many years before this, first of all, COVID crisis, and so many years before even this uh, civil and monetary crisis in Europe, thanks to the 2022 start of the war in Ukraine. Literally, people are suffering as well. Of course, the German was never agreed to use as to cut to make a sanction, and they didn't want even to cut the. Remember the north gas stream was going to Germany from a Russia side, and that one was cut. It like, wow, hello. These are the, you can just put it everything in puzzle, and it's very simple. Just it's interference, the politics of interference, unfortunately, from outside of Europe continent. We know from whose side. I just mentioned it a few times. And I hope that this video, I mean, download of this video won't be banned because it's like the theme is, again, it's my psychic vision, but as well it's mixing with that geopolitical theme because the theme is like that. So, like I said, unfortunately, this guy will be executed in the prison, and I'm like literally like it's unfair because as well it's confirming the sentence started with the Six of Pentacles. Totally, he shouldn't be in prison because they didn't do nothing this time. Like they were not pre-planning. They were having a trainings and things that like they were having their own group activities. Like this is a team, it's networking, but as well it's nothing from now. It's just the pastime gathering and training of the people, and just the big Uncle Sam, right? Literally organize this injustice, and he will be like anybody who get literally uh, under the idea of the government, unfortunately, on American continent, get in that plan idea that that person has to be brought into the prison and brought even like they were doing in 90s with hag victims of the another war zone that was happening in South Europe, in Balkan countries, in ex-Yugoslavia, all of the republics of ex-Yugoslavia, later just to cut the country in small pieces of the every state to move, that they were called republic, not the states. Like in America, you call it the states, there are you call it the republics. And they literally as well pushed the idea, we have to bring this general, we have to bring the president of that country there, we have to bring the Hague. And finally, the same president was what? When he was in prison, he was poisoned. And that's why I say this is a state where this Prince Heinrich XIII is put in the justice just to be eliminated. It's organized from, of course, from the, unfortunately, from the that globalist globalist uh, puppet show that they're literally trying to orchestrate. And unfortunately, why? Because like I said, the Germans, they don't want, they're the biggest, one of the biggest victim with all the rest of the West Europe. And they don't want, first of all, they didn't want to cut the agreement with buying the oil with the Russia. Then there were a lot of other things. And even if there are politicians, the top figure in Germany, that they were blackmailed to continue being a puppet of the Uncle Sam, right? Again, like I'm repeating, every member of NATO, the country that is member of NATO, is orchestrated by the White House, organized, who will be as well on election and chosen for the president, of which political party the member goes just few months before election goes, like in Italy, like literally Georgina Meloni, was it her name? The new, at the moment, present premier of Italy. She was just 2 months before being chosen to be on election for the president. She was literally in Washington on specific institute where all the interactions with that institute, they start with interference in the politics of any country. And she was the one, the moment when she was there with zero education, with zero political background, she was chosen to be the next puppet. The same with Zelensky, because he was not politician. It's so simple. And I'm just talking and confirming again, yes, the pure actor, but again, they needed a puppet. So maybe the perfect actor would be that puppet comedian who was already playing the role of the that commercial, corrupted politician, and literally that same role they wanted to play in the real life this time, but with the real victims, with the whole world, and unfortunately, Russians and Ukraine and Ukraine people and Russians and all the planet is suffering. And this is really disturbing, like I said. It's so disturbing because, like, this person is gone. Look at it's they're all times finishing curing justice. It's orchestrated from Uncle Sam, like I said. There will be a proof of this, guys, to believe, like, because every justice, every truth has to be revealed. So we are going to expose this, and I do believe that this is a media card that they are going to talk what's really hidden, what's behind this action to take him in the prison when he's dead. The people will start to talk when he's um, really, when something disturbing happened in the prison. That's what I'm going to say about that guy. Again, when you Google it, I just hashtag on Twitter. Why there is no hashtag of Prince Heinrich XIII? Why? Because it's as well Twitter joined that weird game of the censorship. So yes, the situations there they cannot be handled. Just the information about official Germany and German cup that they are orchestrated from a website. You cannot see you cannot find zero informations about that person. Go and check, just check, and the people are making this comment. The last thing you can find is the original um, title of the Prince Heinrich Rus, and why was that title Rus? Because there was an east part of the Germany that was on the border with then the Empire of Russia. We are talking, I do believe, 18th or 19th century. The title it is probably 19th century from the Pruska period. I'm just talking Rus or Prus because later on was as well the made the idea of building that military country strong in that eastern part of that period of the Germany that was literally, again I'm repeating, almost where were the borders of the East Germany and Poland, and this region was that another thing, Prussia. And again, guys, the people are calling him like being under the Russian. It has nothing to do. It's a first nonsense. This guy is far right side. He's a royalist, and Russia is communist. And Kremlin make a statement immediately the same hour when they make that again statement, another lie accusation. When they made it, they brutally confirm it's not true. So we don't have nothing to do with the far right because hello, we are against in our country against the far right. So that's correct. And that's what I was thinking even before they confirmed when they said that nonsense. Why it's coming from a Russia? Yes, it's coming as well. The Zelensky and the Nazis they didn't make the torturing of the Russian citizens, their citizens, pro-Russian oriented inside of the new country, fake country, puppet country last 9 years that they were not torturing. Is that true or not? Yes, there are videos of recording of the torturing and burning alive people last 9 years and a lot of other sick things. And this tech, like they're literally putting in a position like I all the time hashtagging on Twitter, stop the Nazis, the Ukraine, stop the war. But this time I didn't even hashtag Nazi because it's like they're transferring the news because the news is just we don't want the German citizens to take over the government of Germany. We want still the German politicians who are corrupted to be orchestrated from the NATO and from the White House. And that's the whole thing with putting this. Wow, hello, hashtag it's Russian thing as well. Hello, it's a Nazi thing because just being a royalist is just another nonsense because I just pardon I believe in historical roots and family trees. As a historian, I enjoy just reading any family tree, even if there are always disturbing members in any family tree. But I'm just going to say it's a nonsense to compare them with Hitler because again, Hitler never evoked any of the royals. Hello, like why they would call it like this is a fourth Reich or something, because yes, there was idea of the first and the second, but as well if you name it and compare it with the Nazis, then they are not going to belong to idea. They are going to be of idea of the Hitler, but not to idea of the um royal parties. So yes, it's not logical because it's nonsense. It's not logical to compare that royalists uh, with with the Nazis because they didn't go together. So that's you can just check it. Just go and read it. You cannot check it. You had to read a little bit longer, definitely, about that thing. Um, so yes, pure injustice. Unfortunately, this guy will be eliminated. Again, I just think like who was in a prison? Everybody who was trying to say something against that that state, you know which state, and uh, let me just say, wow, yes, definitely a monitor elite. Did I just say behind the scene? Will they really kill him? Yes, they want to keep it they want, as you see, their own word. They don't want to change the status of the government because it's material greediness in the background of the globalist. It's so simple. As well, they don't want to leave the German country. They want it still to be a colony after it. After this is against the human rights after 8 years to have the colony. Like I mean, hello. Like Americans left Vietnam after so many years, they are not giving the Germany. Yes, as well, that contemplation, this card is hitting on the Six of Pentacle, injustice around, let's name it, tag it to another country. It's not ours blame, it's a blame of Russia. And that is hitting the Six of Pentacle, just to check about it. It was hitting it's a third party, but injustice calling out it's a Russia, but it's not. So because it's injustice card, and that's what I already said as well. Of course, everything is obvious because what they were trying to achieve, the people are canceling. They are aware that it's just they are canceling the freedom of the independence of the Germany. What is my understanding as a geopolitical and a psychic person together? Still, I have a same answer. And yes, yes, the globalists, as you see, yes, orchestrated from Uncle Sam and the monitor elite. From abroad, yes. As well, they want to punish, they push the Germany, and they really achieved by breaking that North North Stream gas uh, gas Nord Stream, right? And literally they're cutting all the ties between Germany and Russia, and they want to push now poor Germany to buy as well, to buy uh, the American goodies. So sick. Um Again, I should ask with another tarot deck. Let's do with the third tarot deck. another one. As you see, we have one, we have two. We are doing with the third one. Prince Heinrich XIII. Will he be? Will he? His life be in danger in prison? Wow. First of all, look at repeating the same cards. On the start, we have Four of Pentacles. They are punishing him for something that happened in the past time. But whatever he was trying to make a plan or organize the network of these people, he already has these 20,000 of people, followers of his, when you translate it, citizens of the Reich. Is it, I don't speak German, so I don't like, I'm not comfortable to pronounce the, when I don't use some language. So between other languages that I talk, I really don't speak. I don't like German language, I must say. So it's that citizens of the Reich, almost like 20,000 people are member of that. So yes, it's so obvious that the people, the conscience of the people, that they need whatever far east, far right, or far left side, they need to take their own stance, to be independent, not what another country will tell them to do. And I think that they were having a point on him, putting him on a blacklist, and this is a judgment call, right? Wow, now we are going to execute him, put him here, and we are canceling him, as you see. But a pure injustice, because he was not doing now what they make a statement. It was not classical, like in some stupid action movie, like, wow, now we are going to put in the news this guy was preparing, it's a government enemy, and let's cancel him by just saying this. Remember, like Born Identity, like many other movies, like maybe even James Bond movies, like this is even dumb. Like, it's anymore the stories that they're writing all this year around this global World War III, or the stories are nonsense. They're not even having a deep story background that you can little bit stick to the story. That, wow, this is a logical one. It's really hilarious. Like, who is paid to give these stupid stories, to serve to the planet Earth, to everybody, not just to a German, to everybody, to serve these stupid stories? Because we are all living on the planet Earth, and we are all victim of this. And why we are praying here on every live stream and on every of my public lecture, I'm praying literally, and I ask you as well to join and pray at the end of the day and every morning, to pray for the peace on a global level, and to release the pain of all the people who are suffering now, or tortured and prisoner of the war, and as well the people who are suffering any kind of another form resulting from this. From whom? From that a broad alliance of monetary, look at globalist, greedy elite. And yes, did I just say yes? Immature. Yes, that's nonsense. It's so clear. It's immature. It's orchestrated. Look at somebody just written the news, and so clear. Wow. That's wow. That people need to be brave. It's so clear. Collective. It's so clear that we need to be brave. This is a strength card. Strength card is needed when people are not brave enough to take the stand for their own actions. They are not fighting for their own survivor. What's wrong with the people, citizens of any country? And I'm not going to ask the angel support again, guys. I'm against the far right, far any kind of extreme actions. Definitely, I'm against the war, but I'm not. I'm really against any kind of Nazis or any kind of far right. And especially do check my playlist where I was talking in few videos against the Nazi stream in Italy during election. You can check that as well, and my personal opinion and the psychic opinion as well. I always separate this. And I confirm when it's the same answer like I done today. So let's see, what's the message, collective? What's the message first for the Prince Heinrich XIII who is now in prison? It's very strange because moving him to another place will literally put, will this action will have reflection into the movement of other people, into the positive new energy. Just think, people, about this. Wow, a, a move to a new place or new role, and this movement will usher into the positive new energy. Interesting. Is it just the card of the strength? We need a cure for this situation. We cannot be controlled. They cannot serve us anymore the fake news because we are everybody suppressed. And what is the collective message for the collective of Germany? Let's ask for the German people. What is the message for the Germans? Wow, I got two. They slip out very light and sharp. That's what it is. The message is very clear, I must say. So the message, we have to stay together. It's a message about I'm assisting you to go out of this team, of this alliance. Wow, look at Angel Daniel is telling what is about relationship that you're that is handling. You're in a marriage with that suppressing tyrant that is called that country on other side of the, I'm not calling the country, I'm calling out the government of that country, and that marriage has to be canceled. Wow, is that so simple? And the next one, because there were two cards together, Angel Zena, let me see. And as well, by taking this action to be brave enough to cancel that alliance with such a suppression from your marriage partner that is a partner from the end of the world war, like I named the country on the start that is having 20 military bases inside of Germany. And by canceling, you need the strength because you are not brave enough to cancel this connection. And as well, Angel Zena is saying, wow, I'm protecting you on this path of taking an action. And don't worry, the worst is behind you. So just ask for my assistance. And remember the first message around the Heinrich 13? Yes, this action in moving him into the prison will have reaction. The negative for him, yes, but it will be the positive outcome for collective. Wow, because there will be taken the action of the, there will be a lot of protests. Again, guys, like do check out my long list of the justice will be served and stop the war. The I am getting every month the very fast track confirmation, specifically from this autumn. It's getting faster and faster. Like doesn't pass even 1 month that I get the confirmation for my prediction for UK that the Liz Truss will go. She won't stand. My prediction even for the Prince Charles, my prediction around you we are going to see what I was just checked the British Royal. I have a Royal Secrets playlist as well. My prediction was that Harry will return and what will be what we expect of William, it will turn to a responsibility of Harry. That's an interesting one. I'm confirming, definitely confirming that's what I see. And I as well I see in tarot and I see as well as a vision. And again, many other countries that I was involving into this as well. When was the start of this intervention? name it World War III. It didn't start 3 years ago with the lockdown. It started with this intervention. And I said that Zelensky will ask for the negotiation after 3 days. And really, after 3 days, he asked for it. Do you remember? Like he was really the only time quiet. And what was the mistake? And because they sent him the guns, otherwise, there these citizens of Ukraine they wouldn't be victimized. Everything would be settled after if he started that. If they didn't send the guns to him after 3 days, when he asked to stop the war, when he was begging the only time to stop the war, when he didn't have any kind of resources. And that's it. Look at the last card. Again, collective Germany. Taking an action it's needed. And remember, be brave enough. Taking an action is needed in any country. Again, guys, collective, not just for Germany. This is just example because we are in the same shoes. It's it we don't need our Henrik 13. We will have something else in any country. They're going to name another excuse to put that terrorizing thing, and probably now will be for sure some kind of the, I'm sure there will be like some prohibitions immediately started for today or tonight in Germany while they're doing this action. I'm sure like it was in France when there was this terrorist act in France. Was it 2016? Sorry guys, I don't remember exactly. And remember, like when it was in US, the twins attack at well was emergency situation, of course. But this is on purpose. This is a stage action, and that's why I'm just telling you. As well, guys, do check up how you can just check on the YouTube because you cannot find Prince Heinrich explained or hashtag, not on Wikipedia, not on a hashtag of Twitter. Yes, I make the comment on Twitter. Why there is no hashtag of his name? Like that's literally a sign that this guy is really not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be here. Like it's like person. It's not even important. It was not active in the politics if there was no hashtag with him, and like nobody never ever mentioned that person. Like that's so weird. Didn't have one hashtag of his name. And I'm just going to read for a second again. I'm making it's I have just to apology because this is just a quote, it's not mine. It's again coming from official Reuters. That's again German mainstream media thing. So let's check what is the saying. So plot so Heinrich 13 as a new state leader. Imagine, as a new state leader, there were some planned attack on parliament. That I said it's arranged. It's not even. It was in the past time something, but this is right now. This was a total injustice. It's not fair. So here it is. I found it. So December 7, Berlin. That's literally still today because now is the end is midnight, guys. And yes, it's almost December 8 when this will be recorded. So yesterday, December 7th, in Berlin, Germany, on Wednesday, detained 25th member and supporter of the far-right group that the prosecutor office said was preparing a violent overthrow of the a puppet state organized from that side, like I said, from the outside, right? The state that was existing from 1945 under jurisdiction of White House to install, so wait a second, a violent overthrow of the state to install as national leader, a prince who had sought backing from Russia. Again, that's not true because the Russia the same hour confirmed it's not true. We have nothing to do because sorry. First of all, we are fighting against Nazis, fascists as well. We are communists and this is a far right party. It's totally BS. Prosecutors said the group was inspired by the deep state conspiracy theories of Germany Reisberger and Anon, whose advocates were among those arrested after the storming of U.S. Capitol in January 2021. Do we remember that syndrome? What was that? With the jail, Guatemala, many innocent people taken there after what happened. Remember, many years before with the twins. Is that something, again, having some kind of echo? Yes, probably, because I just heard it like that. Members of the Rice Burger. Sounds like a burger with the rice. What do you think? I'm just joking. So, Reich Burger. Members of Reich Burger, citizens of the Reich, do not recognize modern day Germany as legitimate state. They literally think it's Germany under military occupation of US. Yes, guys, even 2018, the 34% of there was a statistic done, and 34% of German citizens, adult citizens, they made the statement that they think that American bases they shouldn't be there anymore. Like, hello, the war finishing like 70, and now today, like almost 8 years ago, it's almost we are entering in less than 20 days. We are entering into the 2023. So yes, it's true. As well, the people are literally split up the German society. The people who are having any kind of political opinion, they are split up between the idea of German empire under the monarchy, right? And the other they have a Nazi ideas. So the monarchies are one. Like this is not logical, right, guys? Because look at there is a Nazis in this news, Nazis, and then Prince Prince Heinrich. So one thing is being monarchies, another is being Nazis. But in the news, they drop up these together. How this BS news it is? It's immediately red flag that something is wrong. And the last third party, they would think that just this Germany is neo-colonial thing under the military occupation that never finished under 1945 by entering US because sorry Russians they left the Berlin even if they entered the Berlin first, but Americans they took over. The plot and this envisaged envisaged a former member of German royal family, identify as heritage. Again, the guy who is pretty incognito, Heinrich XIII, PR under Germany privacy law as leader in a future state. I mean, possible state, right? While another suspect, Rediger VP, would be the head of the military arm with the aim of building a new German army, prosecutor said. You know what is weird? Because that guy, the last one, another suspect, Rediger VP, when you Google him as well, there is not much news, but at least for Heinrich 14, you don't find the news. But Rediger, except this one, that is official news of today all over the world, but just the news from Reuters, but that is the mainstream of Germany, a newspaper. And as well, guys, the second suspected, there is a few links. Go and check, just Google Rudiger VP, and there will show few links. But this guy, what I just I tried few times, and I was all the time getting the same links. and this guy is not anymore alive. He died during the COVID crisis. Like, what kind of name they are using? Because this guy died. So this is not logical as well. So anyway, so many red flags. Like I said, so many red flags around this thing. And that's why I'm doing this thing tonight, because this is a new moon, should be a new moon party. We should have a fun. I should do the love reading, the twin flames for you. I promise that. Of course, there's a lot of giveaways still. We are going to do it tomorrow as well. But like, I was triggered to do this because this was a red flags news of the day, because it's just a hot news. So yes, I really think it was a great time to share this info with you. So guys, be aware that everybody needs the strength and be brave to get together collective and take an action collective. Yes, against this monetary greedy elite. And unfortunately, rest in peace that Heinrich XIII, because that guy is a victim here. That's how it's seen as well. This guy was literally not the leader of the Nazis. This guy was just one of the remain of that royal family that was forgotten even during the Nazis. So another false information. Guys, peace and love, and do check up the rest of my playlist. Justice will be served, as well as stop the war and spread the news with others, because there is a blockages of information. Kisses to all, and do pray this war to be stopped. Only with the power of love we can do it. And of course, we need the courage as well to survive the rest of the years, because this story with this monitor machinery around the war, yes, war profiteer, around pushing the story of the war and crisis is continuous, and it will stay for 4 years into this war state, and then we will need five of I just heard 4 to 5 years, and we will need another 5 years to have a economical recovery. So yes, it just started. It will take totally 10 years. So think about, maybe we can count that we are already in the third year if we count the lockdown as well. Let's hope it's like that. Kiss to all. Stay strong and pray, guys. People not to suffer and people not to be tortured in the prison, and any kind of injustice. People who are in the prison, like Julian Assange, like this Heinrich as well, and whoever is anywhere in the planet Earth, suffering, not to be tortured as well. Peace and love.